Hi everyone, Christine here with our weekly chat and catch up on crochet and health issues. So as usual, we will start with crochet. I have worked on a few things this week. By the way, it is Sunday, October 26th, and I didn't finish anything this week, but I made progress on quite a few things. So let's just get started. First off, my basket. This is the Artisan Basket by Pretty Peaceful Crochet. And here you have our current status. We have progressed onto mostly white and gray and a little bit of green in our last 4 rows or so. I have 2 more rows to go. You can see the green close up there. Pretty happy with it. I would like to do one now or next with all one colorway, like different types of red yarn or different types of green yarn, just to see, because I really like the look of those. You just get this tonal effect without these dramatic color changes. Although I don't mind this at all. It has a bit of a Christmas feel with these deep reds in it and the touches of green, but it's a nice, I think the colors complement each other. And using my big 9mm hook, and currently we have about, did I count, 12 strands? Because some of my strands are as thin as a thread almost. And I've used up my thicker scraps, so now these are all 4-weight. So in order to maintain the size that we started down here, and so my basket doesn't bow in too much at the top with the lighter yarns, I am using more strands to keep up the thickness, more or less. It has gone in a little bit, but not a great deal. So I'm good with that. I think we'll be finishing off with basically white and gray, and still those greens because I have plenty of green. And I think by next week I will have a finished basket. The challenge now will be putting on the handles, because she uses a different type of handle, and I bought them. It's like a faux leather strap that you attach to both sides, and I don't have a hole punch, so I'm wondering well, I'll just have to think about that one. I probably will have to use a knife and be very careful to make my holes in the leather-like straps. I did not get real leather. But I like that idea, because when you build your straps in with the yarn, they tend to get worn pretty quickly. I have a couple of other baskets that get used a lot, and the handles are getting pretty worn up. They're not falling apart or anything, but you can just tell they're getting a little tired. I probably need to wash those baskets too. Okay, so that's the first project. And this is supposed to be her small size, but I think because I used the thicker yarns that it came out bigger than it should have. This is about 13 inches across and already 8 inches tall. So we're probably going to be at 9 inches by the time I finish. Nice size basket. Okay. That aside. It's connected to a bunch of yarns in a basket or a bin down here. Next up is my impromptu scarf that I started last week with this Stylecraft Cabaret double knitting yarn in the color Rainforest, which I just love. And I made just a little bit of progress on it, not a huge amount, because I don't know, I guess I get bored even with fun stuff. But still loving it, still loving the colors. So fall-like, isn't it? I hope to find lots of reasons to wear this in the coming months because I love it. Just drop my bag. So, yeah, I'm on to my second skein, and I still have a good bit left, so I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 weeks we'll be done with this. I just can't work on the same thing for days and days without needing a break and moving on to something else. So this again is a pattern by Hooked by Robin, and I think it's called Super Easy Scarf, and it is super easy. Great beginner pattern. No border necessary, but it produces this wonderful little scallop along the edges, and even in your final row or your beginning row, you'll get that scallop as well. And 2 double crochets followed by 2 chains and a single crochet is the repeat. I mean, it could not be easier, and it's a narrow enough scarf that you don't get overwhelmed by the length of the row. You know, that's the only thing I hate about scarves that are worked, you know, this way, is if you make a mistake and have to frog a whole row. That's just so discouraging. I can appreciate that it does wonderful, it produces wonderful patterns with, you know, yarns that change color because you get those long stripes. But it's definitely more, I don't want to say boring, but those long rows can get tiring and discouraging if you make that mistake and you find it when you're already on the next row and you have to go back. And anyway, y'all know what I mean. So happy to have made a little bit of progress on that, and we'll continue working on it this week, Lord willing. Next up is my CJ Brady scarf, and I made good progress on this. I think I worked probably on this the most this week. Again, it's called Be Like a Sunflower, and the pattern's available on Ravelry. And I am finished with the increase rows and have begun the decreases. So that is as wide as it will get. Keep dropping things. It is a crescent shape. No, what did she say? Boomerang. Judy corrected me. Boomerang shape when you're all said and done. But that's it. And it has this very pretty, also scallopy type board edge on it. It's curling up a little bit now, so blocking will help that. But this is a 4-row repeat. Also pretty easy. You do need to pay attention a little bit more than the last scarf I showed you because of the 4-row repeat to keep track of where you're at, but not difficult at all. To be honest, even though it's this beautiful fall color, I'm getting a little bit bored with it already because it's just one color, you know. There's no changes to look forward to. It's a tiny bit tonal. You will see lighter and darker shades of the color, but it is one color. And so I'm happy to be on the decrease portion now so I can start seeing some changes. There you can see it at its thinnest and at its widest. It'll definitely be a pretty scarf to wrap around a couple times. So, CJ Brady, Be Like a Sunflower. Very pretty and very pretty yarn. Though, like I said last week, not super soft. But I'm thinking, because it's mostly cotton, well, not mostly, half cotton. It is, that's the wrong label. It's the Uru yarn. 34% cotton, 35% linen, 19% lyocell, and 11% nylon. So yeah, mostly cotton and linen. But I'm thinking it might not make you too warm. I mean, it might be a nice all-season type scarf as well because of the yarn content. You're not going to get too toasty. With like 100% acrylic or something like that. I'm told that wool actually keeps you cooler even in summertime. I have not witnessed that myself, but it would be interesting to find that out. So stay tuned for when I make a wool scarf. I will let you know. That first scarf I showed you is 100% acrylic, so that will definitely be a winter scarf, even though it's narrow. Okay, and lastly, I put my shawl on because it's a little bit chilly today. We're getting into that fall weather. And this, I started these this week with this fun yarn. Can you guess? This is called Easel by Universal Yarn, and it is a sock yarn, 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, and it is machine wash, dry flat. The color is Coloring Book, and that definitely does look like all the colors in the coloring book. And I was excited to see exactly how it works up in a sock, because by looking at this skein, you have no idea how that, well, I had no idea how that was going to work out. So this is kind of fun, and I am pairing it with this Patton's Croc sock for the heel and toe and cuff. And here is what I have so far. Aren't those cute? I don't know why it gave me that line of brown right there in the middle of the blue. And now we've gone to this pink. I'm doing them both at the same time. So once I finished the toe on this, I kept going. This is the long part. That's the length of your foot. But I just love the changing of the colors and how that's worked up so far. We still have a lot of, well, there's a good bit of pink in there and brown, more browns. So this will be a fun sock to wear, and it's fun to make too, to see all the variations in the patterns. It's not only color variations, but pattern variations as you work through that sock. Cute. This is the most knit-like appearing sock that I have made, I think, to date. This is obviously crochet, my favorite pattern, Socks for Chubby Feet by Olga Poltava. Now, I've been experimenting with getting it a little snugger so that they're not quite as loose as on me. And I got the toe to be gauge, but I had to go all the way down to a 2.5 millimeter hook. And she does her pattern with 3 1/4. So I don't know. I guess I crochet very tight. Or would that be very loose? I guess that would be very loose, right? I don't know. Or my yarn is thicker. It's patent sock yarn. I noticed when I switched to the universal yarn though, and it's funny because these are all sock yarns, but they're just slightly different. So it does change the makeup of your sock. And I noticed when I moved to the universal yarn that it's a tiny bit thinner. And so when I try these on, they are nice and snug. If they shrink at all, I will be in trouble. So I added a couple stitches my last round, and I may add 2 more in a round or 2. Maybe my next round I'll add another 2 stitches to the round. It's supposed to be 52, so all of this is 52, and then I bumped it up to 54, but I think I may go to 56 before I get to the heel. Well, pretty soon, to give it just a little more space, because I think I might have gone down too far in my hook. Even though that was gauge, I don't know. I think that, like I said, the second yarn is a little bit thinner, so it's making it more snug. Anyway, I'm happy with these. I did all of this in one day. That's a lot for me for a sock, because I usually can't stay with them that long. It's just single crochet. It's tedious. And you're working with this tiny hook, and it's probably about the tiniest that this yarn could stand, because it starts slipping off the hook if the hook is too tiny. And we're just at the precipice of that point. So I'm getting to that point. Anyhow, so hopefully you will see some progress on these in the coming week. That is it for my crochet projects. Lots of fun. I brought out my bin of my scrap granny square blankets, the little 3-inch granny squares, to start working on that again, because that makes me happy. And I haven't been able to work on that for a while. And I found a great deal, it's in one of my previous videos, on a bunch of the little mini maker acrylic skeins at Hobby Lobby when they had their die lot clearance. And so I have all these colors to work with now, and they're just calling to me. You know that certain projects start to call to you, and you just have to pick them up and work on them. That one is calling. The bin is looking very full, so gotta work on that blanket. And that'll be the only blanket I'm working on right now. Oh, well, okay, I do have some whips that I started that I haven't touched in a while. One with supposedly my favorite yarn, which I never work with, which is baffling to me. Some pretty larger squares that I'm gonna put together in a blanket. Yarn Bee, Soft and Sleek DK. Yeah, you'll see that coming up soon, because I've been thinking about it more and more, and it's hiding away in the closet, but I know it's there, and I will get to that again. Hopefully, it'd be nice to finish it for next spring, because it's a lighter weight blanket and I could use it in the spring. So, okay, that's it for crochet. I did not participate in any make-alongs this month, which is unusual, but I kind of just felt like doing my own thing. No pressure, no due dates, just work at my own pace, and I have enjoyed that. I've actually been getting tempted to do some sewing machine sewing. I saw a great pattern or tutorial for some bowl cozies, and I would love to make those. I could use a few more, and I think they would make great gifts. We use ours a lot in the microwave for heating up like soup or stews or casserole, anything you put in a bowl, and those bowls get kind of hot. Yeah, bowl cozies are great. And what was the other thing? Oh, I was just watching a tutorial for a rag quilt. I'm going to finish watching it today. But that looks like a lot of fun too. And although I will need to cut my squares, she uses the charm packs or the layer cake packs that come with 45 pre-cut squares. I can't do that. I have so much fabric that I have accumulated over the years that I really, really want to get into and start using. And so I will cut my own 10-inch squares. Yeah, I want to do a rag quilt. Okay, enough crafting. I'm procrastinating. I'm stalling. Stalling is the word. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. I am a cautionary tale. I am what not to do to lose weight or what to do to gain weight. I could tell you all about that. Yeah. I have no answers this week. I have no answers. I gained 0.6 pounds. I am at 206.6. I'll just keep trying. I had a bad week physically too. I'm not making excuses, but it did play into it. I think I overdid it at the gym, and so I got really, really sore. I mean, I woke up one day, like Tuesday, Wednesday, everything was hurting. My legs were hurting, my arms were hurting, my joints, my neck. Just talking about it is making it feel stiff right now. I even had a headache. I had the headache because I had overdone the sugar the day before, but yeah, my joints, everything hurt. And I think I had just gone to just overdone it with the weights. And I kind of knew it when I was doing it. Like, you know, they say push to your limit, but I think I tried to do that with every move that I was doing, and I just, yeah. And so it took me a couple days to feel good again, to wake up feeling refreshed and not like I'd just been hit by a truck. And so that just affected my mind, and I got discouraged, and yeah. So I'm glad that the weight gain wasn't more. It could have very well been. But the battle continues to be spiritual. I know I need to put the right Lord on the throne of my life and go to Him for comfort and assurance and whatever it is I'm seeking from these snacking episodes when I am not hungry, because they just stop my progress, obviously. So there's the health update. I'm feeling good today. It's Sunday. I'm not going to go to the gym today, but I will try and do some stretches tonight. So hopefully I will have better news on the health front next week, and hope you all are doing well, feeling good, mobile, and able to do all that you want to do. And I'll see you next week.